Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to be making this video today. It's been long awaited, and the product that I'm going to be talking about today is the MAQPRO foundation palette, and this one too. It's MAQPRO Paris, not MAC, M-A-C, but M-A-Q. And so I have my eye makeup on, my lips, but I have no foundation on, as you can see. And I just wanted to start off, obviously it's going to be a review and a demo, as you can see by the name. But I just wanted to give you a little background story about this. So I had seen this foundation on Wayne Goss, obviously, because he loves these like wax-based foundations, and also the Pixie Woo sisters. And I was really wanting to get this foundation because I had purchased the RCMA one and I loved it. I loved RCMA, the texture, the finish, and I did a review on that also, so I would link it in the info box. And so I said, you know, I really want this MAQPRO foundation, but I don't know where to get it, because I can get it online, of course. In the UK, there's two websites. There's the UK, Love Makeup UK, something like that, and I'll link it in the info box. And then there's the PAM Cosmetics, and I'll link that also in the info box. But as usual, online, I don't want to buy foundation because I can't see the colors, because whenever I buy foundation online, maybe I haven't really, maybe powder foundation, anyway, it's never really the right color, and I'm just sick and tired of wasting my money. So anyway, so this summer I go to Paris, you know, to be with my boyfriend, and one evening he said, look, I have a course to attend, and I have an exam that day. It was during the week, of course. Do you want to come with me? It's gonna take me about an hour, but you can just like walk around. And I said, okay, sure. So we get to the place. It's a little bit outside of the city center. So when we got there, I could see the Eiffel Tower. It was really pretty. It was a residential area. And so he goes in and does the exam. I'm like, okay, bye, I'll see you in an hour. So I start walking, and it's all like residential. So I'm like, okay, what kind of shops am I gonna look at? Because I'm probably gonna get bored. But I had no idea that behind the school, like one street behind, there was like a main avenue with like lots of shops and Starbucks. Anyway, I just turned right, started walking, and then I saw, it was August, so everything was closed. A lot of like things were closed. So I see the a shop that had like a lot of writing, and I look closely and I'm like, what? MAQPRO, M-A-Q, and it was like some sort of like school or something, and I'm like, no, this cannot be. So I'm looking all of the writing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is MAQPRO, no way. And so it was just like my little eyes went but it was closed, and I was like so sad. But then I took a picture of the store and the street name, and I said to him, you won't believe the story, and I explained the whole story to him, and he's like, okay, we'll go back. And so it was closed for that day. I don't remember what day it was. Anyway, to make a long story short, we went back, and I bought the products, and it was like, oh my god, heaven. So I walk in, beautiful boutique. There was a lovely lady in there. She was so, like, to me she was beautiful. She had flawless porcelain skin with like these blonde curly hair and this like lovely lip color. I remember I just loved the way she had her makeup on. The boutique is lovely. It's also a school, like I think a makeup school. And so we had a little chat, and then I started looking at the foundation. Now this is what I bought. I bought this palette, which is the palette 6 1003E. And then, oh, and by the way, this cost, because I have the bill here, and it was actually pretty expensive. I thought it was going to be less because our RCMA I think is less, but I don't know there's a lot of foundation here, so it's always cheaper than the high-end brands, and you have a professional product. So it's 72 euros for this. Yeah, it was a lot. And then I bought one palette of, it's the palette number 10, one of these small ones, and this has like correctors, concealers, and as you can see, like green, and also foundation. There's a lot of these type of palettes. Even some are just lipstick colors, and I really want to get those because with one little palette like this, it's compact, it's easy to carry around, you have many lipstick colors. Then she got me to buy the mixer. Now you can use this as a moisturizer, or you can mix it obviously with these foundation. I have the MAC mixing medium, which I never use because it's, I don't know, I just never use it. But this is supposedly a great base for your foundation, and it's very emollient. Now, I did not need this, and had I known, I wouldn't have bought it, but I did buy it. She said because it's better to mix with your foundation. Because the foundation, she says, is kind of hard to mix and is dry, so you kind of need like a mixer. I don't find that at all necessary. Then I got a sponge. Now this sponge is supposedly to be used with this foundation, and it's rock hard, as you can see, when it's not wet. It feels the same way as, you know, one of those sea sponges when you go to the beach and you find like those sponges. It's the same thing. Anyway, when you apply it with, when you dip it in water, it takes a while for it to soften, and then when it softens, it's just very, very soft, like the Beauty Blender, maybe even more. But it's very porous, and after it's very porous, it does look like a sea sponge, and it absorbs a lot of product. Yeah, it's very, very easy to wash. Like, as soon as you put some soap in it and you squeeze, like all of the foundation comes off. So I really didn't need this, but I bought it. I figure, you know, I'm gonna use the foundation with it and the mixer, because basically you see that this little sponge goes directly in one of the wells. What I love about this, let's talk about the packaging. So what I love about this is it's very thin, as you can see, almost weightless compared to the RCMA. In the back you have the name and all of the name of the foundation, so you can also see the back of it. It's has a shelf life of 30 months, so that's a lot. And yeah, it's plastic, of course. And when you can travel with it, obviously, because it's very thin. And what you do is when you wet the brush, the sponge goes directly into the wells. What she told me to do is to put a little mixer in the back of your hand, on the back of your hand. And then you can either put the sponge in it so that the wet sponge absorbs the mixer and then go directly in the foundation, or you can put the mixer in your hand, on the back of your hand, scoop some little foundation and mix the colors as you wish, and it forms such a beautiful texture you would not believe, okay? So let me just say that the colors are divine for me. As you can see, there's a little bit of a kind of indentation in the wells, and this color to me is one of the most beautiful colors I've ever seen on me as foundation. And to warm it up a little bit, even these two go really well with this one. This is obviously to highlight. And then when I want to contour, not really contour, but warm up, like, you know, the 3 and the E, this together with this is amazing, amazing. So all in all, I spent, let me just, okay, so the sponge was 9 euros, which is really cheap if you compare it to the Beauty Blender. The mixer was 22 euros, and It's not expensive, but I don't know, depends on if you need it or not. The foundation was $72.50 and this one was $48. Now, I've spoken about these colors, which I think are amazing, amazing. Now these colors, let me talk about these colors. Now, these are even better than anything I've had. Basically, I use these two colors, which are like a yellow. This is very similar to the concept of like the banana powder or the what were they? Those illuminating like bright yellow or bright pink highlighters, and they work just as well, and they actually have a nicer color to them. Then we have all of these salmony colors. We have these two and this one, which is all like different tones of salmon for your different types of like discoloration under your eyes. And I love to put that under my eyes, and especially this one, I need this one. The other ones are a little bit too much. Then there's the green. This is like a sage green, and it's not those typical greens that you get that sometimes like leave the green halo. This really works on red spots and or rosacea. If you apply it, then it just like blends into your skin and you can't really see the green, but it gets rid of the red. And then there's these two kind of neutral colors here and here, which I don't really use much because I have my foundation palette. So what I really use are these, are like even better than the Touche Éclat, I think, even better than the banana powder or whatever cream, yellow cream. And this, guys, this I use as blush, and this I use as lipstick. I think for my skin tone, of course, I'm always talking about myself, I have found my holy grail peachy pink color for my lips and for my cheeks. This is the perfect tone. Like, I like a peachy pink, but it has to have yellow in it because that's what works best on my skin. So you will see all of this in action. Now, before I apply it, let me tell you about the texture. You either love this or you hate this. Now, this is more catered to people with very dry skin to normal. I'm normal combination. So I waited a long time before making this review because when I bought it in August, it was summertime. And when I applied it, I did not like it at all because it was hot, it was humid, and I'm combo, so it was like an oil slick. So I waited until now. Now it's November. The weather has gotten better, it is colder, and this is what I think of this, okay? Now this company was started by these two men, and I don't know their names, but I remember reading about it, that wanted like an old Hollywood type of makeup that was simple with lots of colors and catered to all kinds of skin tones, okay? And the packaging is very simple too, and it reflects exactly what they want. And the foundation is very simple, and it's wax base, guys. Like, this is wax base, and it does not contain, first of all, any alcohol, of course, and it doesn't contain any of those ingredients that we normally find in a high-end or drugstore foundation that are not good for your skin. This actually contains great ingredient. I have taken a picture of the ingredients of RCMA, this one, and Cinema Secrets. They're all three some of the top wax foundation, and I've put them one after another. I think it's RCMA, MAQPRO, Cinema Secrets, and I'll post a picture of that right now. As you can see, this contains beeswax, so damn, that's very moisturizing. So beeswax is perfect if you have dry skin. It's not going to be perfect if you have combo to oily skin. So please don't even attempt to buy this foundation if you have oily skin. If you have dry skin, this is the foundation for you. I love it way better than MAC Face and Body, which is apparently one of the thinnest foundations and the most dewy foundations on the market. However, this, as you can see, if you look at the ingredients, now why do some people hate this foundation? Because if you look at the ingredients, it's almost the same as applying a lipstick on your face, because it has beeswax. So it's very like viscous in a way, and that's maybe what people don't like about it. And it's funny because this is viscous and it's the foundation, contour and whatever. These, I don't know why, it's the same formula, but when I apply these two under my eyes, it's fine for me. Maybe because my eyes are drier than my skin. So it works, it really works. It doesn't cake like these. This texture of foundation does not cake up at all. You can apply a very thin layer and it's a veil of like amazingness, if that's a word. It's, you can apply it very thin and you can apply it very thick, obviously. If it is applied very thick, the problem is that some people say it sits on their skin. Of course, because they might have combination or oily skin. It takes a long time for this foundation to absorb, a long time. So if you have very dry skin, it won't take as long. If you have a normal to combination skin like me, you might want to use, like I have, a you know, before going out in the morning, I use my SPF. This is an SPF that I'm trying to finish, but this is for oily skin and acne prone skin. So it's gonna be a great base as I have it on right now, because it kind of is drying. I have another one, another SPF, which is even more drying, or you can use a primer. I haven't used a primer. I find that when I use this, my skin looks amazing, and you'll have seen it if you follow me on Instagram. I posted some pictures and I will post them here also of my face with this foundation on, with no primer. It is perfection. It is one of those, like, you know, that effect of like wax museum. That's how the effect is. It is very old Hollywood. I think when I apply this foundation, not only do I think about old Hollywood, but I think about Angelina Jolie. I don't know, she always has like a perfect waxy, no makeup kind of look. And I love this, but I don't wear it on a daily basis. I only wear it maybe on special occasions, or when I know that it's going to be cool, and when I know that I want to look like a porcelain doll, and I'm not going to do a lot of sweating or running around that might make my foundation slip off, because it's really weird, but this beeswax is in it. So you know, you can't really sell a foundation with beeswax to everyone. It's not gonna work. But yeah, that's why it is so moisturizing. I did not need this. And as soon as you put your fingers in and you work, it breaks down the oils and it becomes like this cream, this oil, and you don't need a mixer, to my opinion, like in my opinion. You definitely don't need this, and you definitely don't need a sponge. First of all, sponges absorb a lot of product, and I don't like that. But yeah, I don't need to wet it, because wetting it makes it even more moisturizing, of course. And this is oil wax based, so I don't think it really goes with water. It makes it like slip and slide. So I think your best bet are your fingers or a paddle brush. These work very well. This actually gives me a lot of control of where I want to apply it and how much I want to thin it out, because it's very thin. And the other brush that I really found quick and effective is this one. Now this, a few years ago, it was all the rage on YouTube, and I bought it. It cost me so much. I think it cost me 50 euros. It's by Coco Beau. I don't know if you guys remember this. Then all of the YouTubers were talking about it. Of course, I had to buy it, and then nobody talks about it anymore. It's like Inglot. It's the same thing. Everybody talks about it, and then nobody talks about it anymore. Anyway, it's the, what's it called? the big fat firm foundation brush. This does the trick for me because it's very easy to take the foundation, get the foundation on the brush and in the wells, and it applies quickly and easily. I used to use this with my Chanel Bronze Universelle. So enough talking, and I will tell you if I like it, and you probably know already that I like it, but after the review and demo. So let's start with the review. I'll first start with my fingers on one side, and I'll do the other side with the foundation brush. Okay, so I'm gonna take this color, and with another finger, I'm going to take this color. I'm going to do the same with the other. This is what they look like. I'm just going to kind of rub together. Oops, I forgot. Oh well, anyway. And I'm just going to apply it on this side with my fingers. Mostly where I need it, of course. As you can see, I don't have a lot of problems, but it is, oh my god, it's easy to blend if you like rub your fingers together. It's so easy. I don't need that mixer. So as you can see, I haven't done this. The colors are just perfect for me. Perfect. Okay, and this is a very, very thin layer. It makes your skin look natural and glow from within. Now, I make sure that it really like gets into my skin, but you have to apply this in thin layers. If you apply a thick layer right away, it's gonna sit on your skin. So make sure that you apply something drying, like a drying SPF or something. Don't even think of trying this if you have oily skin, forget it. Maybe combo, because I have combo. As you can see, the finish is divine, better than any other foundation. Even better, the finish is even better than RCMA, but RCMA is more long lasting, but this is more refined. It's a very elegant texture. And this is very, I keep on sounding like a broken record, but very old school. But that's what these two men wanted. Very old school, like pan makeup. But I think it's old school, like revived, basically. Like maybe actresses used to use this, but it was very cakey and you could see it. This, you can't see it. It's just perfection in a pan. Okay, so as you can see, I think I've done enough. And I applied, let's say a layer. I'm going to do the other side with this big brush, which this absorbs a lot of product, of course, but it's easier and faster to apply. And it also is, you see, look at that. And it applies it in a thicker way already. That's very thick, you see. And it's, if you're on the go and it's, you know, don't have a lot of time, I think this brush kind of does the trick. Look here, I have some redness and it just, so maybe this is like, the application is a bit too thick, so you need to like shear it down after with your fingers or with a sponge, but a dry sponge, I don't know, I'm just tapping it. And here that I have a lot of discoloration, I just have a brown spot, unfortunately. I'm gonna show you how well it covers. And that's a beautiful finish. The color is just, oh, just so gorgeous. And bring it down on my neck because it's easy to blend, not because I need to. It just melts in, maybe not into your skin, but on your skin. You just have to give it a little bit of time So as you can see, the application is a little bit less shiny with this, okay? If you were to use this sponge and the mixer, it would be like Shine City. No, 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 unless you have very dry skin. So this is a finish, and I will use this corrector. I don't need much correction. I will actually use this little brush because it's easy just to go here. This is like the perfect color. It's much better. Oh yeah, it's much better than the Giorgio Armani Master Corrector in #1. And this would be similar to it, but the Master, oh, I just put my nail inside. But the Master Corrector is more pink. This is more peachy. So as you can see, I just put my nail inside. I can't believe I did that. I actually applied this one right now to show you how like pinky it is. But it definitely does a great job, and illuminating job and corrective job. Now I'm gonna use these two. I like to use these two with my fingers. So here again, I just go with both in here and just press them together, and I have the perfect amount. And I just do this, okay? And I go also, I bring it in the inner corners, a little bit on my nose to highlight, why not? Cupid's bow, but mostly under my eyes, and just like lift this whole area here. Okay, and that is done basically. As you can see, it's very luminous. It's very also, the tone of it, it's perfect for me. I don't know if it's gonna be perfect for others, but there's no problem because there's like about 300 colors for everybody. And there's about, I think I saw like, I don't know, 100 of these palettes, different tones. There's some for colored ladies, more Mediterranean skins, fair skin. Now this palette of foundation, I bought it because she said it's the most used and the most bought by Americans. So there you go. Then there's like the Asian palette. And this, I remember the Pixie Woo sisters using, and she loved this as blush. Now I'll use it as blush, but before I'll mix in these two like, foundation colors, but to warm my skin up, because now we've like illuminated, but we want to warm up our skin. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to basically get the foundation on both of my fingers and rub them together like so, and then apply the foundation with these two fingers here and go in kind of the socket here. Is it a socket? No, it's not a socket. Whatever, here, as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful color. Much better than any of those damn like contouring gray shades, because in real life you can't really contour. You just want to warm up the skin and look, and it just melts into the other colors, and it's the perfect color if you're fair. Now I'm NC 15, but I'm very yellow, okay, so I can't have things that are too, and I can apply it here actually too. I can't have things that are too gray or too red, and this is the perfect color for me. Okay, so basically I look like a wax doll, okay? And the problem with this foundation is that now it's like sitting on my skin. It has not absorbed in my skin. So we would need to wait a little bit before to powder, okay? That's the only problem, but that's what I'm saying, like you can't do this every day. Or you can apply a very thinner layer, that's for sure. Like I'm applying not a thick layer, but you know, it's fundamentally to make me look perfect and doll-like. I'm gonna use my favorite, the shade, the blush shade. Of course, it's very, very pigmented. Everything is very, very pigmented. And again, I'm going to blend it on my middle finger and apply it. Look how beautiful. And it just marries itself so well with the, like the bronzer color. And it's perfection. It's perfection. Look at that. I mean, isn't that like glam? Just pure glam, okay? No sponges, no nothing. Now the problem is the shininess. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply powder. Oh, the lady wanted me to buy, and I forgot to buy it, and maybe I should have bought the powder instead of the mixer. But the powder was a translucent powder, and it would set the foundation so that it was like sweat proof, waterproof, because also this is like for theater, you know. But I have my Vichy Derma Blend that I have to finish, of course, and this provides, I think, the same kind of finish. So I'm just gonna put it in a little, the lid, and just powder on my nose, the T-zone basically, so that you can see. Obviously I have to go under my eyes too, so I'm just gonna put some with this Sephora brush. And this really locks in the foundation, and it doesn't alter the color of the foundation, because I think the Chanel one that I'm also trying to finish, of course, this is a number 50 Peche, and it alters the color, and I don't need to alter the color with this because I think it's like a dead-on color. So there you go. You've kind of like gotten rid of the shininess, but the cheeks are still shiny. And if you buy their powder, let me put some here actually. I don't know what to say, but I'm sure that it definitely locks in the foundation. So this is the finish, guys. It's just divine old Hollywood type of Angelina Jolie wax kind of look for special occasions. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this demo, of course. Now my review is that I love it. I love it, but for certain things. I don't, you know, if you want flawless, impeccable texture, very refined, beautiful colors, go for it. I think it's one of the best foundations as far as like the wax-based foundation, but you have to like it. Like I said, you either love it or hate it. I prefer on a daily basis the RCMA. I think it's easier to work with, but if I want, like if I have a special date, or I don't have special dates anymore, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like you can see the result, you can see the lovely effect that it has. Unfortunately, it's not for everybody, and if you want to make it for you, you have to work with what's underneath. Like you have to kind of like dry your skin up and stuff. So what I would suggest though for the under eyes is these kind of palettes, or if you have oily skin and you can't buy this, just the lipstick shades there just so many, and I think they're amazing. All of the links to the shops where you can buy it is going to be in the below bar in the info box. I'll also tell you where the MAQPRO store is in Paris. I'll link it also, and I'll link also my RCMA video so you can compare it. And that's it. You know, I hope you enjoyed the review and demo. Yeah, let me know what you think, and if you have any questions, go ahead. Remember, this is not for everybody, okay? This is not for everybody, but in the long run, if it does work for you, it's an amazing, amazing product, okay? So thanks again for watching, and I will see you very shortly with another video. Bye, guys.